Well, I was a pastor in Toledo, Ohio, and they called me back in late 2020, and it just seemed like we'd been in big cities for so many years that moving back to kind of a small town like we grew up in um, was a good opportunity. And so they issued me a call. I don't know how they got my name, but they issued me a call, and I did an interview over the internet with them because that was during COVID and so like that. Then we came out here, and it was just obvious after meeting and talking with the people that we were just kind of a natural fit. And so I went back and prayed about it for a couple weeks and ended up taking the call and then moving out here at the end of December of 2020. Well, our mission statement is glorify God, nurture all, and share the gospel. And we've kind of built that into our glorify God is our worship and our prayer. Our nurture all is that we take care of our members, whatever financial needs they have or whatever needs, and then even in our community, and then we share the gospel with that. And so everything we do has to fit into that kind of category. My experience with this congregation is that every congregation says that they're welcoming and they're nice, and because they like to think that, but this congregation really is. If you come in here, you probably won't get out of here without 5 or 6 people grabbing hold of you and having a conversation with you, and really interested in you and trying to find a way to get you back here. And if you can't get here, we'll get you here. And so it's very friendly and very lay involved. When I got here, one of the things that was funny was that I was here a couple months and I turned to my wife and I said, I wonder what the pastor's supposed to do, because that's kind of my job, because it seems like they do all the work. So the lay people do. They're involved in everything. A lot more, I think, than churches that I've experienced in the past. On Wednesday night, we have a Wednesday night program that basically have dinner at 5:45, and they kind of have a program of meals that they do. And then we break up into classrooms at 6:30 to 7:30, and part of the class they're doing The Chosen. So they're watching The Chosen together and having the Bible study. And then I'm leading another Bible study in another room on prayer, going through that. And we do that usually from September through May, with some weeks off. And then in December and of course in April, we do Advent and our midweek Lent services. We take the summer off. But then every Thursday at noon is a men's Bible study and pizza. And then one Saturday a month is another men's breakfast. Ladies have Bible study on Sunday afternoons. And there's just always something going on here, whether it's praise team practice or a youth event or Sunday school going on. So it's a very, very busy church, very community involved. A lot of people work in the community. We also raise a lot of funds for the community and give to various agencies. They just had the women's barbecue this weekend. I think they raised $2,000 for Hands of Hope and $2,000 for Habitat for Humanity. So all the money we raise, we don't keep. We give to our community. So we have a big trunk or treat that's coming up at the end of the month, and we get close to 1,200 people come through that, and we serve hot dogs and have games, stuff like that. Another thing is all the fundraising we do for the community. We also have a nativity walk in December where we put the whole place up so it looks like the nativity of Christ. Blood drives happen here. We have different groups. Radiant Health has used it for various things, Hands of Hope. So we try, and we have a homeschool group that meets here on Wednesdays of about 80, 90 kids. They meet 3 times a month here on Wednesdays. And so we try to be a community asset and use our gym, because there was a preschool and daycare there at one time, which no longer exists. So we say, well, we've still got the building, so we need to have it used more than on Sunday. And so we try to let groups come in and use it for various things. Next is we've invested a lot in technology this year and getting into AI as far as filming sermons and then making them to TikTok and YouTube videos. And our goal is to reach out into the Gas City area and possibly establish a second site there. We don't know what that's going to look like. We're kind of in the beginning stages. It seems to be a growing area. So we're trying to do, most of the stuff we've done technology-wise has been for us until now. And after this, we're looking at reaching out and finding a different way to get sermons and Bible studies in a way that the person that does not have any church background or maybe little would listen to it and get something out of it. And so we're not looking at moving into Gas City to find more Lutherans. We're trying to find people that don't have any faith at all. And that's a new adventure. We don't know how that's going to work out or if it's going to work out. Well, the history, we're going to be 75 years old this weekend. Actually, I think it's November. But it started in a hotel ballroom downtown in 1950. And then they built a structure on the main bypass area. And that went for a number of years. And then they decided to build out here. And I believe they built out here in the late 60s. And so we're at the YMCA for a couple of years, the old YMCA. This building moved into 1968, 69. They've been here ever since. And this part of the structure down to these doors was here. And then in the late 90s, they added the gymnasium because they added a preschool and daycare and stuff like that. And I think I'm the 6th full-time pastor. There's been some interims in there, but yeah, we have a YouTube channel. And so somebody said, I'd always been doing YouTube videos teaching things. And so we interviewed all the members. So I just finished the 45th interview of members, and they're anywhere from 20 to 40 or 50-minute interviews of each group, talking about. My rule was I wouldn't interview anybody that was here less time than me. So it's all kind of, but talking about their time in the church. And so we've interviewed some of the original members. There's actually a couple still around, and they're in their 90s and close to 100. And then some that grew up here in the youth group and now are in college and stuff like that. This is Pastor Fred Hearn from St. James Lutheran Church. We have 2 different types of services, both our traditional at 8:30 and our contemporary at 10:45. We'd love to have you come and join us for worship and for Sunday school and Bible classes.